Good morning. Sunday morning, everybody's kind of up and around, but getting a start on the checkerboard. Casey suggested checks, which is very cool. So I could treat the whole thing as one piece. I took the slats off and hot glued a piece of cardboard to the back. This gives me one working piece to work with. Then you can check out some YouTube videos on checkers. Pretty much all you do is get one row going. You use sections of tape as your spacers. And then we continue laying a stripe, move your spacer down, another stripe, move your spacer down, works great. Move your spacer down, another stripe, and then we do a light coat first to seal those tape edges, then a second coat, third if you need, and then we take our tape off and we're just going to cover the squares again. So the second taping job is a lot smoother and quicker, but this is key, putting a backing on it that you can remove later. Okay, everybody, we're back. I got one row of squares. All the squares are hidden under the row of blue tape. You can probably see that or see evidence of some of those squares. And so now you come back and we have to pull all the tape off, but now you put tape on in both directions over those black squares, and we're leaving white diamonds, and then we'll go over that again with the black and light coat first to seal those edges, and then a heavier coat later. And I'm thinking this is going to look great. See you in a bit. All right, so we've got the painting pretty much done. There's the base. We'll cover this more later, but pretty happy with that. The slats have been checkered, and this is really the key to the whole thing, this cardboard backing. Double it up so that you have glue on two laminates, and then you glue that to the boards right in here after marking where they go. And when you're done, that's all on the back. There's not a lot of leftover glue, but that's all on the back. And so now I'll screw it up to the base and show you what it looks like. Well, all right, there it is. Now and then I've got, there's some considerations. Maybe I should have done the frame without the stripes. Maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that, but because there's gaps built into it, I couldn't do striping without pulling all those off. I couldn't do the checks anyway, and so you do see some natural wood in there, but the only way to really have done that was to pull them all off and put them together like I did. If I'd left the gaps open, I think it would have ended up looking even worse. Plus it's two levels, so trying to tape off two levels would have been tough, but for the most part, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, it's certainly one of a kind. And then the striping, I think maybe I should do without on the sides, on the main frame. Leave the checks, but I think the sides might look better just white or just black. But I think the striping is... Well, good day, everybody. The pedal board is done. A huge shout out to Casey Lee for suggesting checkerboard stripes, van style, love it. And thanks to Macaroon too for going with the EVH style stripe. So let me show you what this looks like. I am really stoked with the way it turned out. This was a $3 chair from the Goodwill store, all hardwood maple. And the cutting and putting it together literally took me about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Now the painting, because you have to wait for everything to dry and everything, the painting took longer. But just a couple of rattle cans I had out in the garage. And it turned out really cool. Plus, this is my own deal. It cost me, the power supply was $30, the chair was $3, and some time. So I got a killer custom pedal board with VH stripes on the side, thanks Macaroon. Wanted to throw some in there. Left this kind of clean, left the front kind of clean, and then the checkerboard, super good idea. Thanks Casey Lee, I wouldn't have thought of that on my own. So I don't know why people are buying, it just blows me away when I see a $120 pedal board or a $150 stamped out piece of aluminum. Now, if it has its own power supply and the plugins over here and some of that cool MIDI stuff, then that's one thing. But a lot of people are paying bucks for just a stamped out piece of aluminum.
And it's just crazy. Anyway, so let me show you how this is going to set up. Another thing I did at a thrift store. Two things you got to look for at a thrift store. Chairs and furniture to make cool little pedal boards from. And then boxes like this, because you never know when you're going to need a simple 2-button or 1-button foot switch. All right. This was another thrift store find that I outfitted with some jacks and a couple buttons I had lying around. So that's going to operate the pedal board, or not the pedal board, but the drum machine. Drum machine is going to be right there. Let me bring you over a little closer. This is going to be great. And I'm going to dedicate this board to the 6V6 amp, the Ibanez, because it's really nice. And so this is all going to be set up. This is the Atlantic Nux reverb delay. Very nice pedal. Looper station. Neat thing about this looper, as opposed to the Ditto, is I can capture drum beats on the second input and then have my guitar on the other input, and whatever I loop, whatever I capture, stays. So my drum beats and my guitar riff stay in the looper, which you can't do with the Ditto. So that's a bonus plus there. Anyway, this will probably be it. Of course, I can swap these out. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outputs for 9-volt outputs. And then, of course, if I grow or do something else with it. But that's what it's going to be. This is going to run nice under here, right under the second level, up to the drum machine. So it's going to be nice and all put together. But I really couldn't be happier with it. So, you know, go out there, you guys and girls. Learn how to work a hammer. Learn how to work the saw. And instead of paying 80 or 90 bucks for a pedal board, make something that's you, and you'll have it forever. My other one's right over there. You've seen it lots of times, but it's just basic. I cut up some plywood. Well, not plywood, but pine boards, and just clear coated it and shellacked it. But that was real basic. But this is I'm stoked. So once again, everybody, have a good one. Thanks again, Casey Lee. We'll see y'all later.